All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone out there watching this demo day. I am joined today by all of the founders of the @Company who would like to introduce themselves.
Okay, I'm going to figure out how to get off mute. I'm Barbara, and I'm super excited about demo day today. We're going to see a presentation on @Crypto, and I know there's a lot of buzz about that. And we're going to see buzz as well. So I think this is going to be a great demo day. What do you think, Colin and Kevin?
It's always a great demo day. But we've got some really interesting stuff to show everybody today. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
It'll be fun. The only disappointment is I'm not going to be able to do @login because I broke everything at 5 o'clock last night, and I worked on it all night, but still haven't gotten everything fixed. So, but 39 issues to resolve. So that one I killed, and it was and I had everything ready yesterday at 5. So that's my own stupidity. Oh well.
Live demos.
Dead demo today. So sorry, Tyler.
No, that's totally fine. We still have a great lineup of demos to show today. And are there any other remarks before I kick everyone from the stage?
Let's go for it.
All right. And we will be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. We'll be starting today's demo day off with @SpaceSignal. Go-Fei, you can take it away.
Sure, thanks. Hello, everyone. I'm Go-Fei. Today, I'm going to introduce you to our new app @SpaceSignal, where you can meet new friends and talk to strangers in an easy and secured way. I'm currently a MSCS student at Columbia University. My teammate Clara is a UI designer in a top tech company, and we will probably also have another developer join us soon. When you talk to people on your phone, have you ever got random annoying messages like this before? Or have you ever noticed that your online profile and messages can still be seen even after you disabled your account? Like this. Here we can see the problems that most apps don't allow us to manage your data on the app, and we can't control what information can be seen or can't be seen by others, so that there are concerns about information security and data security on personal information and messages. Besides, even though there's an increasing need for online chatting apps, it's hard to connect with people who share similar interests, since most stranger chatting apps only connect you with random people. So how can we solve these problems? The solution is @SpaceSignal app. @SpaceSignal is developed on the platform so that the users can manage their data and determine what information is public, what is private, or even what messages can be seen by a specific user. Also, @SpaceSignal gives users more flexibility in choosing who they want to talk to. Thus, the users can easily connect with people who share similar interests. So how does it work? The idea of the app is coming from the Little Prince. The Little Prince lives on his own planet alone, just like people quarantine at home in the pandemic. The only things the Little Prince can do are cleaning the volcanoes and weeding unwanted seeds. Feeling lonely and bored, the Little Prince wants to visit other planets and talk to other people in the space. However, there's a travel restriction since the pandemic, and to keep everyone safe, it's better to talk to people online instead of in person. After careful thought, he decides to use a space signal app to talk to others by sending or searching signals. Here's the space, with a lot of planets in it. We are the Little Prince who's living on a planet, and signals are the messages in the space. After sending a signal to the space, for example, why there's a sunset, if someone search and find our signal and reply to us, we will connect to the replier. Okay, the replier says, because he ordered it to do so. Oh wow, it was the king. Or we can search a signal. For example, the signal we found says, I want some recommendations. What's your favorite drink? And I reply, White Claw. Then we can connect to the sender, who is the drunkard. So basically, on the @Space Signal app, you can search or send signals to connect with other users and talk to them afterwards. Now let's take a look at the demo. Here's the app. Let's log in. Here we are using the old onboarding widget. I think there's an update. And log into another account. Okay, now we can see the planet. Let's try to send a signal. Say, hi, how are you? The signal has been sent. Let's try to search for the signal from the other user. Okay, before we hit the reply, just to make sure the two users are not connected yet. All right, let's reply to that signal. We can reply, good. Okay, now let's check the sender. Okay, the chat pops up. Cool. So now two users are connected and they can talk to each other. And let's go back. And you can also recall your signal. The message, the signal is recalled. So @Space Signal has a huge potential, but how can we make it successful? So here comes our business model. Our target users are people who want to make new friends freely online and want to keep their data safe. We'll first start in US targeting young people, and in the future we'll look forward to expanding to other regions and age groups. Our competitors are majorly stranger chatting apps and dating apps. Some stranger chatting apps have video chat function, but we don't really want to get on video because we want to keep it easy and simple. As for dating apps, we notice that people post a lot of personal information online, but once they do that, they have no right to pull them back. Comparing to these competitors, AdSpace Signal has a different focus that we want to put people at the first place and make sure users' privacies are protected. So why should we switch to AdSpace Signal? First of all, it's easy to use. Our users don't even have to register an account on our app. No need to confirm your email or your phone number by sending a security code. Our users can just log in with their @. Secondly, AdSpace Signal is much safer since our users own the right to manage their data and can always recall their previous messages. Thirdly, we're an ad-free app, so you won't see any annoying ads on the app. But without ads, how can we make money? Our revenue will be majorly coming from the ad protocol commission when our users register their @sign through our app, and also from online purchases on icons, planet decoration, or the membership that gives users unlimited access to send and search signals. Besides the one-to-one chatting functions we currently have, there are also plenty of future opportunities for the AdSpace Signal app, such as creating group chat room on a spaceship or enabling photo sharing functions. So stay tuned. Thank you.
All right. Awesome presentation as always, Gofei. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Gofei? And while we wait for the questions, I do have one for you. When did you think of this idea? What inspired you?
I think it was last year, September, when everyone was quarantining at home, feeling lonely, had no one to talk to. So our team wanted to create this app to help to connect people, especially in the pandemic. Yeah.
Totally understandable. Barbara's hacks because Kim isn't here. When will it be available? When will we see this on the App Store?
We're working on it, and I think we will finish developing the app soon, maybe in October, I think, and then we will work on to launch it.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to it. Are there any other questions? And how many people are on your team at the moment?
Currently, I only have myself and Clara, the UI designer, and then I think one more team member will join us soon.
Awesome. Okay. If there are no more questions for Gofei, I think we can move on. Thanks again, Gofei. Amazing presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
And we will be right back. Okay, and we are back. And this time, oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I have not gotten rid of the questions. There we go. Okay, we're back now with Xavier, who will be presenting actually something that was just recently created and has been finished. So Xavier, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tyler. So everybody knows Google has done an amazing job to make, starting your first Flutter app really easy. Uh, but shouldn't app platform apps be as easy? And that's kind of what we're here to talk about today. So yeah, they should. And we're going to do that today with AdApp, which is our very own version of Flutter Create. And so why do we need this? Essentially, what AdApp will do for you is it'll create our own custom template of your app, and it'll bundle all the basic requirements of what you need for an app platform application. And it also exposes a couple of interfaces to the developers just to make development a little bit easier and cover some of the things you'll commonly see within an app. And so I'm just going to jump in and show you immediately how do we use it. And so it's done with 3 easy steps. You install the tool, you create your application, and you start writing the code for it. And so we'll demo it. Over here, I have my terminal. Oh, it's blocked by the demo day logo. Thank you. And so the very first thing you want to do is you want to install the tool. And let me make this a little bit bigger. There we go. And so that's done with Flutter Pub Global Activate and then app. And today I'm going to be using a pre-release version. So for pre-release versions, I just have to specify the version. And I'll just run that. And so you'll see it says right here that it installed. And so now I can use it. So the way you use it is first you say add app. If you're on Windows, you put the .bat. And then the command is create. That's the one we want to use. And then finally, I just choose a project name. So I actually need to make sure that I haven't used this name already. So we already have demo day used. So let's create demo day 2. Keep it simple. And just like that, I'm creating a new project. And so what this does is it installs the identical configuration that Flutter Create does, but then it changes the default app so that it includes some app platform stuff. And I'll show that in a moment. So there we go. It's all done. It's installed. And I'm just going to head over to some code. Oh, okay. There we go. So if I go ahead and open this new folder, and make sure we're out of the app if it'll let me. Okay. So this is the app that it generated. Here's the main.dart. So I haven't done any extra configuration. This is the most basic default version you can get with it. And what it does is, you'll notice this doesn't look like Flutter Create at all. What's different here and is for developers is that it includes those dependencies I was talking about. So you'll see immediately, rather than just running the app, we're already loading in some environment variables, which AdApp allows you to configure. And so that just allows you to streamline the process of setting up a few things in the app. And I'll show you how that works in a second here. But then it exposes an easy place to configure your client preference. So you can do that immediately and change it as needed. And then the next thing is just like your typical Flutter application, there's your app. And let me get this running. Okay, and then within the app, you'll see that we have onboarding, and with the onboarding, it's pretty much pre-configured from AdApp so that when you essentially run AdApp, everything that you need to to be configured with onboarding will be set up for you. So you don't even, developers don't have to touch this at all. The only thing they have to worry about is we'll get down to it here, is that next screen, and that next screen is the next piece of, is the only code that's essentially unfinished. And so while this builds, I'll show you how to sort of configure those extra variables. Let's jump over to the terminal. And so if I go ahead and do help here with app create, there's a lot going on here. But you'll see most of these are actually the same as Flutter. All of these up here are the same. You'll see it's only these three at the bottom that are different. And so if I were to use some of these, oops, let's actually jump over here first. And I'll show you this .m file, which I haven't shown you yet. So right now it's completely empty because I didn't configure it at all. But if I go ahead and hop into my terminal over here and type app create, I can then go ahead and set my namespace for my application. And we'll go ahead and use my @ here. I can also specify, by default, the root domain is production, but if I was using the virtual environment to do my development, I could specify that here. I'm going to be using prod though, so I can also manually set prod. And then the last thing, I don't have an API key for this app yet, so we'll just create a fake one and make sure we don't use it. And then I want to use the same folder, the same project as before. So demo day 2. If I run that, you'll see it's going to recreate the project in demo day 2 the same way Flutter create would. We'll just give it a second to do its thing. Okay, and now it's doing that configuration that I just set up. And so it's reinstalling everything here because it already has installed this dependency. It's just giving us a warning that it wasn't able to add it to the project. So as it says below, this may not be an error. We already know the dependencies there, so it doesn't need to be installed again. And there we go. So now if we come all the way back to code here, you'll see that all that information I put in got populated. And if oh, my app's still building. Let's do this from the terminal. Okay, so that will actually be populated. Now the last thing I have to do is just give proof. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this bigger and just let it finish up building. The whole idea behind using this is just to standardize the way essentially developers build platform applications. It makes it a whole lot easier to compare and rebuild. Oh, I think I know what the issue is. Let's see if not. Let me get this one up. It wouldn't be a live demo without issues. Okay, here we go. Okay, Tyler, would you mind? I'm gonna share my other screen here. Would you be able to put that on stream? Awesome, thank you. Okay, so this is a very similar application, and I can go ahead and actually run it here, hopefully on a machine that works. It's a different app. So what I've done with this version, this is the exact same version. I built this earlier this morning, and I just included a button that includes some tests I was doing. But the point is, when you first get introduced to the app, there's onboarding. In this case, I've already onboarded, so when I press the onboard, it immediately kicks me into my @ and it's Xavier Chant. And there were some errors with my code, so the does it work button actually says, boo, it didn't work. But the point is, behind this, onboarding is completely implemented out of the box when you create an application with app, and you can just get going on coding your actual app immediately. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you, Xavier. That's amazing. Are there any questions? Well, I guess while we're all waiting, oh wait, when will it be ready for devs to use?
When will it be ready for devs to use? So right now there's this RC version here. So this is in pre-release, and my goal is to publish that later today, and then it's ready for everyone to use.
There's another question. If some additional files are added and then the project is recreated, will it keep the additional files?
Yeah. So the way it works is it checks to see if the file's already in there, and if it's like, for example, main.dart. If there's already a main.dart in that project, it won't replace it unless you specifically say to overwrite. And that's with the overwrite flag. So for example, I'm on Windows now. If I do adapt.bat create, and then, my project name, let's make that bigger. So there's project. I don't have the project folder, but for the sake of example, if I did, I'd have to do -- overwrite for it to give me the template. And it would erase whatever else was in my main.dart before.
And what made you think of this? What made you think of taking Flutter Create, but for the app platform?
So I noticed a trend between devs back when I was an intern this summer. And one of the things we would commonly do is we were sending essentially just the same file to each other just so we'd be able to work together. So we all had the same variable names and everything. So I said, why not just make a standard for it? And that's what AdApp does. It just creates one standard for all the apps to use.
Awesome. Are there any other questions for Xavier? And is this open source? Can anyone look at this?
Yeah, it's on Time Foundation /AdApp on GitHub.
It is. Let me go full screen for everyone to see and enjoy. We love our open source code here. Be sure to check out @app on our GitHub repository. We definitely love it when people raise bugs and stuff. No code is perfect. All right, cool. Yes, definitely awesome work. Great concept. Amazing work, Xavier.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And we will be right back with the next demo.
Hey, I just met someone new, but to keep in contact, what should I do? Do I ask them for their email, username, password, Instagram handle, game or code? Friend them on Facebook, ask for their number, or even follow them home? I don't know. What if the answer was simple and sweet? Ask him one question, wouldn't that be neat? I'd say, hey, what's your @ sign? What's your @ sign? What's your @ sign? They'd say, hey, here's my @ sign, here's my @ sign, here's my @ sign.
Oh, we will be right back one more time. I promise. We're almost done. We're almost here. Okay, sorry about that long break. I am accompanied here with Jagan and Sharan. Jagan, take it away.
Hi, can you hear me all right? Can you see me, hear me all right,
Yep.
Tyler?
You are good to go.
All right. Hi, everyone. I don't have slides in particular. So I'm going to talk first about an app called Wavy. So I'll explain why we have built this app and do a quick demo. And there are a few things that we talk about this app that makes it really special. So basically, Wavy is an app where you can create a micro website for yourself on a protocol, and in a very privacy honoring way, where the data that you have put out, for example, imagine a situation. What is a single source of truth about yourself on the internet. Let's say you want to know about somebody, you typically go to Google and type somebody's name, and then you see their LinkedIn profile maybe, and something about them in the Facebook, Instagram, and various other sources. And none of them are, it's not, I mean, the search results are not it's not something that is controlled by the person being viewed. It's just there, thrown by Google, and you kind of then look at their profile and make certain opinion about them. Whereas the Wavy that we are talking, the website that we are talking about on Wavy is something that you decide how people will actually look at you, and then in a very, very privacy honoring way, which means, let's say I put certain details about myself on the public, and there's nothing to be cached about. I can go and, let's say, delete my content right away, and it's just it reflects right away, actually, which I'll show you in the demo. But there is another great concept called followers and following, and I'll actually spend a bit of time, because we did demo the whole public profile thing many times in the past. So let's see how it goes. So I'm sharing the screen from my mobile, so I hope you can hear me while I share my app. Hello, Tyler?
Yep, we can hear you. You're good. May you share your screen, please?
No, I'm actually, yeah, I'll share my screen. So 1 second, please.
Okay, I will fill the void while Joggin is working on that. Sorry about that. I hope everyone's enjoying their Friday thus far. Who's ready for a nice, relaxing weekend? I surely am. Okay, Joggin's back. I'm gonna add him to the ship.
I'm sorry. So basically, I'm new to the whole StreamYard thing, so it doesn't let me share from my mobile while I speak. So something
Oh, that's really
that.
interesting.
So I need, maybe we can we have, let's say, Charan share his screen on maybe Buzz or something. Buzz first, and then we'll move on to Wavy.
All right, Sharon's up here on the stage with us. Sharon, would you like to share your screen?
Yeah. Hi everyone. So let me share my screen. Okay. Can anyone confirm if the screen is visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
So I'll start with an onboarding in Buzz. So basically,
I'll just give a quick intro of Buzz. Sorry, we have to move to a different app. So basically, this app Buzz is you can reimagine the way the contacts being shared. It's actually way more than better contacts app. So what happens is, typically when you are actually when you save contacts of somebody, you enter details for your friend. Let's say your friend's name is John. You enter John's name and enter his phone number and maybe his email. But how do you keep track of John? I mean, what happens if he changes his email and he changes his job and his email changes, and then he changes his phone with time, and then he actually has a new phone number? But how do you keep track of all the people on your phone book and keep updating the details? It's actually nobody got the phone book right so far, and Ed Protocol is tailor-made to to make phone book better. So the ideal phone book would actually update itself. So if your friend changes his phone or email, so it's updated automatically. You never have to keep track of the people, and it's like always there. So we wanted to build such an app on a protocol, and Buzz is your better contacts. So let's say I change my phone number, you don't care about it. You just call the new phone number, and I mean, you call somebody that you want to call from the app. It always calls the right phone number because the person that you are calling has actually shared the number with you, and it's automatically updated all that stuff. So Charan, let's get started and log in as somebody and share uh, a persona which contains number and stuff.
Sure. So I'll start with the onboarding process. So here you can actually like enter your custom AdSense or maybe generate a free AdSense. So let me go with the free AdSense first. So you need to pair up your email with the AdSense. You'll be getting a OTP on your email. Okay. Okay. So it asks for every new AdSense, it will be asking for a contact person. It's like basic.
Yeah, actually, you can build any persona on Buzz. Persona are various presences that you have. For example, this is a contact details persona that you are creating. It could be a health persona that you want to share with a doctor, or a financial persona that you want to maybe share with a chartered accountant and stuff. So what you're creating here is you can present yourself as various personas. For example, this persona could be created with a certain phone number, and the intent is to share only with your family members. And you can actually create a work persona where you have a different phone number and you want to share with your colleagues only. It's very polymorphic in nature. So when you share, which means when you end up sharing your persona with somebody, they always call you on the right number. So we are actually in the process of building this concept of presence too, which means you can be unavailable to calls for your colleagues, whereas you can always be available for calls for your family and stuff like that. So what Sharon is building here is a persona where he want to share his phone number with his family members. Yeah, Sharon, let's go ahead.
So once you've created the persona, and you'll be redirected to the dashboard page. So on this, there are some quick actions like you can add a connection. So let me just add a connection. Let me just add this AdSense to this connection. So you'll be getting a notification saying that a contact has added you as a connection, and you can add them back. So so here you can see the details which are like you can share a persona here, and it will be visible here. So let me just share persona with the other Excel.
You can actually create n number of personas and share n number of personas at a time. Uh, let's say if you have a financial persona and various other personas that I talked about, maybe you want to share everything with your family, whereas with your colleagues you can share a certain personas and stuff like that. And as I was saying, it's very very polymorphic in nature. So maybe this is the first time that you control what, I mean, generally all the websites that you have out there, everybody sees the same kind of information about you, whereas with the Buzz app you can control who sees what kind of information. It is very very polymorphic, so the whole concept of presence, and it's close to the real world. I mean, we share certain things to family, but we don't share certain things. So all that is actually brought into this app. So depending on who is seeing the information about you, they would see the right information. So what is Sharon is trying to do, so he's kind of, it's like live coding, so he's sharing from his com, so there might be some issues there. So the emulator on the left, the person on the left tried to share something to the person on the right, and the information would appear on the right side actually. So yeah, Sharon.
So I'm just waiting for the sync to complete. So
Yeah. So once the information is shared, based on what you have shared, so there are certain options. So can you please go to the contact list, Charan, on one of the emulators? So the contact list that you see, so you see that dial button there. So the information about the sign is not saved by you, and it's actually shared by someone else. So when you call from the list screen, actually if you can go back and call, so it would be actually making use of the device call app, and it would call the respective person, and you never have to worry about keeping the information up to date and all that stuff. So it's very very dynamic, and yeah, Buzz is a way we're trying to build a lot of social elements into the app, dynamic groups and lots of stuff, but a lot more to come on Buzz. Yeah, that's about Buzz, I think. Ella?
All right, thank you so much. Are there any questions for Jagan? And let me move the thing. Oh, well, the questions banner is a little big. We may need another one. Are there any questions for Jagan and Sharan? When will @Buzz be in the stores?
Yeah, Buzz is kind of
yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Buzz is kind of already in store, but what we are working towards is as you know, Ed company is working towards better APIs and all that stuff. So we are working on integrating them, and we see the value of that. So we're looking at publishing what you have seen in a week's time. So get your hands on Buzz in a week's time. Yeah, coming soon, really, really soon.
Awesome. Are there any other questions? Okay, if there are not, we will be right back for the next presentation. Thank you again, Jagan and Sharan. All right, welcome back, everyone. I am now accompanied by Sachin. There's your
Hi, Tyler.
screen. Sorry. All right, it is all yours. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. I am Sachin Singh. I work as a software engineer at Geeky Ants, and I, along with my team, have been working on some of the packages and some of the apps like Baby.ng, Atmosphere, Arrive, and some other cool apps. So today I'll be showing you Baby.ng. So let's get to my
Oh, Sachin,
screen.
before you go ahead, I have Kevin and Colin up here as well to intro along with you, if that's okay.
Hey, Sachin. I guess before you show off the app, maybe a little history of where the app came from. Sort of interesting. So the Wavy app that we have today was originally a demo app, which was originally, the idea was for just to manage settings in the app platform, and it morphed itself into @Wavy, which we'll probably see later on. But undoubtedly, @Wavy was an engineering sort of settings tool that turned into a web tool. And Kevin, tell us what we did with that @Waving, I guess.
Yeah, so as Colin said, the Wavy app kind of evolved into this, as Jagan described it earlier, kind of a microsite for people to create their own presence on the internet and show themselves off the way they want to. So it's a lot about, and it's really flexible. We actually, that was a bit of an engineering hack where we figured out we could embed HTML and JavaScript and different kinds of tags and fonts and emojis to create really interesting content. But it wasn't what we had imagined it to be at the beginning, because it was just a settings app. So then we thought, okay, we really need to, this is there's a there, so we wanted to step back and say, let's really do a proper design for this app, and so we hooked up with the Geeky Ants team, of course, and so they produced a new design. So this is a whole new look and feel, a whole new experience for the Wavy app. We call it Wavy.ng at the moment, or Waving, and so it's not in the stores yet, but it's getting very close. And so, Sachin, back over to you. Yeah. Sachin's been working really hard to turn it into a real piece of software. So
it's Wavy the next generation. That's the other one that look of NG, I guess. So cool.
So this is the home screen that we arrive on when we first onboard. So the first thing that catches your attention is how simple and beautiful the UI looks, and segregation between different kinds of data. So at top we have some data related to @, like the currently logged in @, the name label, the following and followers data. And here we have some options for customizations that I will get into in a bit. So if we scroll a bit down, here we have feeds. So here also we have segregation between different sections, like basic details, additional details, and each section can have predefined fields and custom fields. So what I mean by predefined fields and custom fields, so there are certain fields which are predefined, whose title cannot be changed. For example, this phone, we can add a value here, but we cannot update this title. Same as this email, we can add a value, but we cannot update the text over here, which is the heading of this value. But if we talk about this custom field and my custom content, so we can update the value along with the heading as well. So this is the main difference between a custom field and a predefined field. So additional details also have similar content, like it will have set of predefined data and some custom data. So if you look at here, this is a predefined field pronoun, and here I have added some custom fields as well, like this additional details link and this HTML content, which is actually HTML text and it is being rendered as how HTML is rendered in a browser. So if you talk about the main difference between Wavy and Wavy.ng or Waving, so it gives you, Waving gives you more control over how your persona appears to other at signs, and it also represents data in more meaningful way. So like this one, I have added HTML text here, but it's representing it in like how it has been, how it would have been rendered in a browser. Similarly, there are some locations which have been added here. So it all presents the data in more meaningful way. And this all, there are 3 sections in details, and we have other tabs here as well. These are channels and featured. So channels have channels are to store different channel ID. Like you can have some social accounts, some game accounts. Like here I have some fields, and in gaming I have only one field, which I will be editing in some time. And here we have featured content. So this will take us to the Instagram profile. If I have added username, Instagram username, so it will show me the data, the profile. Yeah, so it takes me to Instagram username, which I have added here. And similarly, Twitter also works. We can go to the Twitter username here. So this is the data here, and you might be wondering, like, okay, so we have lots of options and customizations. So how do we edit the data? So here is option to edit the profile. So similar to how home feed was, here also we have different sections to update different kind of fields. So just like we had basic data, here we can see the fields, and this globe icon represents whether it's public or it's private. So for an example, if I click on it, it will give me an option like whether you want to change it from public to private. So if I change to private, and if I save the data, then it will be private, and it will not be viewed to the other at signs or to other users. So to edit these fields, we can click on edit, and this will take us to this screen. So remember I told you, like, we have different kinds of data like custom fields and predefined fields. So here, if you notice, this is a custom field, and we get an option to edit. But these are predefined fields. Here we only have option to change its visibility or the content in it. So we can't change the title here. Like, we can't change first name, last name, or phone. But what we can do is, we can, if we go to edit, we can change the title also. Let's write it updated. Yeah, and body, my custom content, let's write 2. So I have updated my title and my body, both the fields. And if I save the data, so it's updated here. And if we go back, here we have option to either preview, like, okay, I have made some changes. So I can either save the data. It will actually store the data in SDK, or we can preview like how it's looking. So if we click on preview, so here we have updated the fields, like updated and these 2 numeric field I have added here. So this is showing me how it will appear after saving the data. So if I go back and if I press this back button, it will discard the changes. And if I save, then it will save the data. So if I press on save, so it has updated the field, and this is how it will appear to the other users as well. So apart from this, we have this is where we can add a custom field. I updated this field, but similarly here we can update a field. Okay, let's add a field. So I have a video link. So I will just add a demo video here. In body, I will paste this YouTube video link, and in type we have to specify like what kind of data it is. Based on this type, it's presented like whether we have to render it as HTML, whether we have to render it as a video. So if we select the type as YouTube and save the data, so here is the actual field that you have added. And if you go to preview, you can see the video, and you can even play from here. Like it will take some time to load, and you can play the video here. So I will just save the data and I'll show you. So if I save, so this is added to my feed. Yeah, so this is how this video plays in home feed. And just like basic details, we have similar like additional details where we have different kinds of data and also this HTML content. So which gives us a different kind of editor where we can update the HTML content. So let's make any changes here. So this is the HTML content. Let's write updated here. I will do done and save, and this will update in my feed. Yeah, here. So similarly, we have locations where I have already added a couple of locations, and multiple can be added more. And similarly, we have social and gaming channels, and these are the custom fields, and these are the predefined fields where we don't get an edit option to edit the title. One more thing I want to show you. So here custom field is on top, and if you can see in my feed, it's appearing at the top, and I don't want this to be appeared on the top. I want this to appear after my email ID. So what I can do is I can just go to my go to this section, and I can click on this icon, and I can reorder the field in what order they will be appeared in my feed. So if I long press on them and if I drag it down, so it moves this data down. And if I'm satisfied with this, I will save the data, and it appears just where we saved it: phone, email, and my custom fields. So here we have reordering as well. And remember, I told you like we can update, we have more control over how our persona appears to others. So let me show you. If I so here I have my public contents will be displayed here. So if I want my appearance, my persona, and the data to be displayed in a bit different way, I can update the theme. I can set the highlight color. So let's go with this dark theme and this light highlight, this green highlight color. So here also we have this preview option. You can see like whether you like it or not, or you can change it. And we will save the data here. Yeah, and on the website, this appears in the set appearance, like how we have set in our appearance, in dark theme with green highlight color. So I can further update this if I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, so similarly, you might have noticed like here I can see my profile picture on the app, but it's not coming up here. So let's see, it's private here. Let's set it to public and see whether it appears. And yeah, so I have saved the data and it should reflect on the website as well. Yeah, so now my public data, that is my profile picture, is being shown to everyone who will visit this website. So this is how we can change the visibility of the field. Here I have done it for the profile picture. You can do it for every other field that we have here. Every field, whether predefined or custom field, it can be updated. The visibility can be updated. So this was like showing the feeds and editing the feeds. And apart from these, we have option to search the profiles. So here, if you check, these are mostly test data which we use to test different functions. I'll show you some profiles which are well built and which have some actual data. If I show you Colin here, and let's search Colin here as well. Let's go to yeah, so here I'm seeing Colin's profile on my app and on the website. So all the public data is being shown here, and the same way it's being formatted on the app itself. So these are some of the HTML contents that is being rendered here. These are the custom fields, some YouTube links, and yeah, definitely there are a lot of data here. So this is how an actual profile look. Let's see if we have other. So yeah, we have share profile option here as well. So if we go to share profile, so this will let you share this profile with on Twitter and Facebook. So you can add any comment here, and can just log into Twitter and Facebook, LinkedIn, and you can share this profile. So this was pretty much it for Waving, or wavy.ng, as you like it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Sachin. Are there any questions? Any questions? This is live now, by the way, everyone. So if you just go to the link there that I've put, that's on the screen, or you go to the App Store or Google Play Store, you can download Wavy now. So no need to ask when is this available.
Waving is not actually available for public download yet.
Oh, it's not? Oh, I lied
no.
to everyone.
So actually,
actually,
it's on test flight, and we are solving some P1s. So hopefully, within a week, it should be available for public use as well.
Okay, so next week we get to look forward to this next week.
Yeah, let's hope.
Got it.
Yeah.
Keeping my bar raised nice and high for you, Sachin.
Yeah.
Okay, if there are no questions, we'll be right back for our last, but definitely not least, presentation. Thank you again, Sachin. Oh, wait, is there a comment? Can't wait. Me neither. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, and we are good to go. Andy, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, the floor is yours for App
Okay.
Crypto.
Thank you. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Andy Sylvie, and I'm going to tell you about AtCrypto. AtCrypto is the world's first smartphone-to-smartphone private blockchain platform. And AtCrypto is going to make the blockchain easy for everybody. AtCrypto is an enabler and accelerator of bringing the blockchain into the mainstream and bringing blockchain 2.0. And ambitiously, AtCrypto is going to do for the blockchain what Larry Ellison and Oracle did for the database. And we're going to do it the way Steve Jobs would have done it. We're going to make blockchain easy, super easy for everybody, so that nobody needs to understand anything academically about the blockchain to use or work with the blockchain. The problem that we're going to solve is that blockchain adoption is being held back because it's so complex and there's so lack of accessible platforms, blockchain platforms, that application developers can work with to create applications running on the blockchain. Think about it. You have an application developer, he's got a great idea to do something on the blockchain. How does he get his application to work with the blockchain? Where's the blockchain he can work with? Doing anything with the blockchain these days is complicated. The public blockchain transactions are expensive. Look at the price of the gas on the Ethereum network. Decentralized app developers and users are missing accessible private blockchains, which they can then build applications on top of. And on top of that, there is no accessible private blockchain platform where the users are smartphones and smartphones only. The market, which we're looking at according to the research, enterprise blockchain platform market is estimated by 2027 to be worth $111 billion. The private blockchain segment of that market, which is where we are, is expected to account for 46% of the market, which is around $50 billion a year, which is a lot of money. The private blockchain commercial use cases are many. You only have to look on Google, look at how blockchain could be used in commercial cases, and they stretch across manufacturing, pharmaceutical, supply chain, government services, legal, identity management. Any opportunity, any vertical opportunity where blockchain can help, there's the opportunity for the blockchain. The private blockchain personal use cases are similar to commercial ones, but also extend into trading collectibles, gaming, esports, personal sensitive data sharing. Private blockchains where you can share information. The solution which we're bringing is AtCrypto, and AtCrypto is the world's first smartphone-to-smartphone private blockchain platform. And in this presentation, I'm going to be repeating that a few times because it's really important to understand this is about a blockchain which is only running on the smartphones. There's no backend, there's no servers in the cloud, there's no other blockchain behind it with a branch that, oh, by the way, this phone happens to be a node on a branch of an existing blockchain. This is an isolated private blockchain running only on mobile phones. The AtCrypto app, it's going to enable and bring the capabilities for private blockchains on the smartphone, the capability to invite your friends to be nodes or your contacts to be nodes on the blockchains. Once you've got the blockchain with your contacts and your friends, you can then make non-fungible tokens, smart contracts, and put them on your private blockchains. There will also, as part of the app, be a blockchain-enabled crypto wallet for storing your tokens. And consequently, this makes the app into a platform and an enabler for decentralized apps and decentralized finance and decentralized autonomous organizations. The app, the business model, the app will be free up to a threshold, certain number of blockchains, nodes on the blockchains, or the amount of transactions or smart contracts that you're putting onto the blockchains. Above that threshold, you'll have to pay fees. You'll have to pay gas to use the app. The gas on the AtCrypto products will be the AtCrypto stable coin. This means as part of the AtCrypto holistic solution, we're going to be doing an ICO, an initial coin offering. We're going to be minting and launching the AtCrypto coin, and people will buy the coin and use that to pay for services where they go above the free threshold. How does AtCrypto work, and how is it going to make the blockchain easy? Basically, imagine this. You download the @Crypto app from the App Store or the Play Store. You get it on your phone, you open it up, and you click the plus sign to create a new blockchain instance. Let's say we call that instance MyChain. As part of setting up MyChain, I type in the name MyChain, I click Next. Next it says, who would you like to be nodes on this chain? It then opens up your list of contacts, and you select from your contacts, your friends and contacts, who you want to be a node on the chain that's going to run on your phone and their phones. Once you've selected your friends and contacts, you click Submit. Your @Crypto app on your phone will then send a notification to their phones. They'll receive the notification saying, Andy has created an @Crypto blockchain. You're invited to be a node on that blockchain. Would you like to be a node? They select yes. Either they have the app already or the app downloads and installs. The app then gets them onto the chain, and then you and your friends with your private blockchain, and don't forget, you can have as many blockchains as you want, all different blockchains with all different groups of friends and contacts. You are then on this chain, and you can create non-fungible tokens, you can create smart contracts, and you can work with the blockchain. As I said, it will be free up to a certain threshold of usage, and above that, it will be, the gas will be paid in the crypto coin token. The products from @Crypto, they don't just end at the @Crypto app. That's just the beginning. But there are three main pillars. So the @Crypto app will enable everything that we've just gone through to work on the smartphones for consumers and for people. Making blockchains, making tokens, inviting your friends to be nodes on your chains, etc. In the same way as Skype launched about 20 years ago and enabled people to make calls over the internet, the consumer Skype application, that was very popular. After a few years, Skype came along with the enterprise, the commercial version, which is Skype for Business. And we're going to follow the same model. And we're going to take the source code from the @Crypto app, and we're going to inherit that and extend it and make it into @Crypto for Business. And this will be the enterprise version of @Crypto, and this will be where the big money is and the big revenue is. This will enable corporations and enterprises to make private blockchains from their data centers, from their hyperscalers, or even if they don't want to install the @Crypto software and run the blockchains, run the @Crypto software and administer it themselves, then we @Crypto, we will have our own cloud data center where we will run the @Crypto Enterprise Edition software, and we will offer blockchain as a service to companies that just want to subscribe and have blockchains, but not actually be taken care of installing the software, upgrading it and fixing it, etc. when it doesn't work. This will enable enterprises to make as many blockchains as they want, to reimagine applications and to take advantage of the blockchain opportunities. And there are many, and I think it's almost going to be endless. Just imagine, for example, a car manufacturer. A car manufacturer, they could make a private blockchain. They could install @Crypto into every single car they produce. Every single car would then be a node on their service history blockchain for the cars. Every single event from that car could be recorded immutably, which means you can't delete it, onto the blockchain. So the mileage, the service history, the events that happened to the car, whether it had an accident, the whole history would be stored onto the blockchain immutably and safely and securely, and that would build trust in the second-hand car market for reselling the cars as they change users and owners. So that's the second pillar, @Crypto for Enterprise for Business. Then we have the third pillar, which is the @Crypto Developer Platform. This will be API driven, and this will enable application developers who don't want and don't need to understand anything academically about how to do blockchains, but simply want to work as an application developer. They want to work with a blockchain in the same way as they would work with a MySQL or an Oracle database. They don't want to understand academically how the database works, but they do want to be able to create a table that's a chain and to be able to update, insert, and delete data in the chain. And so we will give the application developers the @Crypto Developer Platform, which will enable them to work with @Crypto blockchains and enable them to only take care of creating the applications on top of the blockchain. The beauty of these three pillars is that they will all use the same underlying source code base. So we'll write the code once, we'll start with the @Crypto app, we'll inherit and extend it for @Crypto for Business, and we'll do the same for the developer platform. So we're not having to rewrite from the beginning for each pillar of our holistic solution. As this goes together, this will make up the @Crypto framework. the whole holistic solution of @Crypto. It starts at the bottom layer with the capability of the @Crypto private blockchains, and also the @Crypto token coin, which is used for paying the gas, paying the fees above certain usage thresholds across the consumer app, the enterprise edition, or the developer edition. On top of this, we have @Crypto integrations, because obviously we want to make @Crypto blockchains super easy to integrate with anything, whether it's financial banking products, whether it's manufacturing execution systems, whether it's e-gaming, esports, whatever it is. We want all those companies, all those enterprises, all those softwares to be able to easily integrate to @Crypto in their favorite way of doing an enterprise integration. On top of this, we'll have mining. Of course, we have to have mining. Our mining in @Crypto is going to be our rewards program. And basically, it will use a proof of stake mechanism for the mining, which means the more that people use @Crypto products, the more they have chains, the more they have nodes on the chains, the more they put transactions onto the chains, they will get rewarded for their proof of stake and how much they're using. And they will be rewarded in @Crypto tokens, which they can then either sell on the exchanges or they can keep and they can use towards their gas, and therefore reducing the cost of their gas to use the @Crypto products. Next, of course, we have the @Crypto wallet, where all three dimensions, developers, enterprises, people, will be able to store their tokens. And then on top of this, we have the @Crypto app for the consumers. We have the enterprise platform for the enterprises and companies, and we have the developer platform. On top of that, we therefore have the capability of enabling anybody to make their own blockchains and enabling anybody to make their own non-fungible tokens. And when people are making their non-fungible tokens, it would be nice if they had a possibility to trade, to swap, to exchange the tokens between each other. And so as part of the @Crypto holistic solution, like OpenSea, we're going to have an @Crypto market exchange for @Crypto users across the three pillars to be able to exchange and trade and swap the tokens. This leads that @Crypto then becomes a decentralized finance enabler, a decentralized applications enabler, and a decentralized autonomous organizations enabler. And the beauty is, this is all driven by the same underlying single code base shared across all of the products. So, barriers to entry. Why are we doing @Crypto now? Why would we be an enabler of bringing the blockchain into the mainstream? And the answer to that question is, we have the first mover advantage. There is nobody else in the world doing smartphone to smartphone private blockchains. There are other companies doing blockchains where your phone can be a node on a branch of their chain, which is over there somewhere in the cloud on a load of servers. But there is nobody who is doing private blockchains from one phone to another in isolation, only on the phones. You choose who the nodes are, you choose how many blockchains you want, and you go and do the blockchain. The @Crypto is sitting on top of the protocol from the company, and that's why we're here this evening, for me this morning, for you this afternoon. And the protocol, why are we working with the protocol and the company? We're working with the protocol and the company because it takes a massive amount of programming work out of our ambition to bring private blockchains to smartphones. The beautiful thing about the protocol is we are using the @signs as the identifier of the node, as the identifier of your phone. That saves us having to use the phone number or the email address or something else as the identifier, the unique ID for that phone. We're then using from the protocol the means for secure end-to-end communication between the two nodes, between the two @signs. That's what the protocol has, end-to-end, peer-to-peer, secure communication. On top of that, we're using from the protocol the underlying mechanisms in the protocol for @signs to trust each other, which is based on their end-to-end secure communication and trusting each other and their private and public keys. On top of that, because in the blockchain, we might sometimes store GIFs or JPEGs or PDFs or pictures or files. We might sometimes store that in a blockchain, but more often than not, this kind of information is stored off the chain, and the blockchain contains a pointer or information on where that paper-based or Word document or PDF document or whatever is stored. And so the protocol with the server, which runs on the mobile or in the cloud, that also brings us the possibility for the underlying mechanism of off-chain data storage. One of the most interesting things we're doing, on top of being the first organization in the world, the first company in the world to do private smartphone to smartphone blockchains, is we're bringing a new consensus mechanism for putting blocks onto the blockchain. The most common consensus mechanisms for putting blocks onto the blockchain start with the proof of work. And although we might not be into blockchain or we might not understand blockchain, we've probably all heard that for Bitcoin, for example, it's this proof of work consensus mechanism which requires massive computational power and is using lots of electricity and is making people question how environmentally friendly the Bitcoin mining really is. Another alternative proof of consensus mechanism is the proof of stake. And that is a kind of mechanism where somehow you prove that you're doing activities on the blockchain, and because you somehow prove that you're doing activities on the blockchain, somehow the other nodes kind of trust you. But what we're bringing is we're bringing a new consensus mechanism which doesn't exist in the world today, and it's called proof of trust. And this is again leveraging the app protocol. And the proof of trust is very, very simple. It's very CPU light. There's no computational power required. It will have no effect on the battery life of the smartphone. And it's simply saying, this node here will say to this node, are you the @ that you say you are? This node will supply his app protocol keys to this one. This one will do a quick check to see if the keys make sense, sanity check them, and say, oh yes, that makes sense. You are the @ you say you are. Okay, you can add your block to the blockchain. Basically, all of this, it saves a massive amount of programming for us. It means that we just have to take care of writing the programs for the blockchain, writing the user interface, and getting it to work. But these underlying mechanisms, they're all done for us. And regarding the barriers to entry, if we had to identify the node, identify how to communicate between the nodes, identify the trust between the nodes, come up with a consensus mechanism, that would take us another year or two before we could get to the point to even thinking of coming with the @Crypto suite of applications. By the way, the @Company are incubating @Crypto. So I bring you all to the final slide for today's presentation. Basically a summary of @Crypto, where we are today. We have first mover advantage to be the world's first smartphone to smartphone private blockchain platform. We're being incubated and helped by the @Company. We have a seasoned team in place with fantastic advisors. We have developers in place and we are ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. We've been doing prototyping of the smartphone to smartphone blockchains, minimum viable, minimum lovable product preparation. And we are prototyping at the moment the world's first smartphone to smartphone private blockchain platform. As I said, @Crypto is an enabler and accelerator of the blockchain and bringing the blockchain into the mainstream and bringing blockchain 2.0. @Crypto is going to do for the blockchain what Larry Ellison and Oracle did for the database, and we're going to do it the way Steve Jobs would have done it. We're going to make it super easy. And we're here today. If anybody watching would like to connect with us, would like to help us in any way, we're also looking for seed. If anyone is interested to be a seed investor and be part of this, get in touch with us. We'd love to talk to you. And thank you very much for listening. Does anybody have any questions?
Wow, wow, Andy, wow. An incredible presentation from you. I am so looking forward to @Crypto. And you brought up the currency and the wallet. I'm sold. I wish I could be a seed for you. We do actually have a question for you. What will be @Crypto transaction medium, smart contract token, or a new digital currency? Do you understand that question, or sir, would you like to elaborate a little bit more? Oh, will the transaction medium be a smart contract token or a new digital currency? I think you touched on it really briefly.
No, okay, the gas. So we have to get revenue. So certainly for the enterprise edition, we're going to be charging for using the enterprise edition. We're going to be charging we haven't worked this out yet, obviously, but somehow it'll be a combination of the number of chains you've got, the number of nodes on your chains, the number of transactions, smart contracts you're putting onto your chains. And the payment for using the @Crypto Enterprise Edition, we won't send an invoice and charge you in dollars or euros or fiat currency. We will charge you in @Crypto tokens, which is our token, which we will launch from our ICO. And you will then have to, we can sell you the token. So you can buy the token from us or from an exchange, and you have the token, and you then pay for our service with the tokens. That's where our token comes into it. It's for collecting revenue. And secondly, it's a reward, a kind of mining reward for the amount of use that you use of our product. So the more you use our product, the more we will reward you by crediting you with our tokens.
There we go.
But regarding the private blockchains, it will be your chain. So it will be Tyler or Colin or Barbara or somebody else. You create a chain on your phone. You decide who you want to be invited to that chain, and then you can do with that chain as you so wish between yourselves. And a very interesting thing, it comes back to Kevin's polymorphism, because I could create a chain with my family. I could create a chain with my friends. I could create a chain with some of the people I work with for storing all kinds of different information. But then some of the people who are on my chains, they might create a chain where I might be part of it, but also a different group of people that are also not part of my chains. And so it will all cross over into each other.
Yes, I'm totally looking forward to this. We are actually running over a little bit. We have one more question here. I'll allow one more question. How easy do you intend to make the NFT curation process? It's a great question.
What do you mean by the curation process?
Would you like to elaborate a little bit more?
Creation or curation? Is it curating or creating?
Creating.
Okay, creating. It's got to be easy. It's got to be super easy. It's got to be in the app, and it's got to be super, super easy. The whole point of the @Crypto app is to make everything about blockchain as easy as possible, to give the iPhone experience to the blockchain. That's the number one goal. That's the number one reason for doing it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your presentation today, Andy. Like I said a million times, I'm looking forward to @Crypto. All right. And we'll be back. We do have a presentation for @Login. So we'll be right back with this final presentation. Thank you again, Andy. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're back. All right, we have Ashish here to present @Login. The floor is all yours.
Good morning, good evening, everyone. This is Ashish.
I'm
I will
also
not
going
take
to add
much.
Kevin up here as well. Sorry.
That will be great. I'm
Yes.
not going to take much time. We are already running late. So we are trying to improvise the process of @Login on web apps by giving passwordless login, which is end-to-end encrypted. Earlier, we have to wait for verification code. Maybe sometime codes are going to the promotion tab. We all know the challenge of Gmail. Now, with the help of @Login app, you can log in with your registered @ without waiting. And if you still don't have your @ go and get it. Some free @ are still waiting for you. As I mentioned, the process will be very smooth. You just need to enter your registered @, then the QR code will come. With the help of our @Login app, you can just scan the QR code, and that's it. You are into the web app. Now you can do whatever you want, like you can create more @. I have a small video, the same demo which I gave, which is like a walking model. Like now I got the QR code to scan. With our @login app, you can scan the QR code. You will get the success message on your authenticator app, and you are in the system. Yep, that's a quick demo. Anything, Kevin, would you like to add?
No, you're a lifesaver and a prince among men. So thank you, Ashish. Really appreciate you diving in on this.
No worries.
That's got to be a record for the fastest demo ever. All right. Are there any questions for @login? I'm very excited for this as well, Intisar. Okay, if there are no questions, I think we can bring up the founders. Thank you so much, Ashish, for sharing that. Definitely a lifesaver for that demo. And I have Colin here and Kevin, and Barbara will be up in a second. And while we wait for Barbara, Colin, Kevin, any final remarks before we close out today?
Busy demo day today, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot to keep up with.
That's the velocity of the company and the velocity of the community. So, yeah, an awful
when
lot
will
going on.
@login be ready? I didn't even take time for the questions. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so @login, so what Ashish was showing was a sample app. So what we need to do is get a design made for the mobile app, and then do a proper implementation. I mean, it's the good news is it's I'm actually using Xavier's @app skeleton, so it's doing that, and it's also using the new RSDK implementation. So it's using a lot of pre-release software right now, but when we get that all integrated and put some nice polish on the front of it, then should be a nice app, I think. So that's going to be, I would say, several weeks before we have. We'll have we can produce an ugly sample app that people can play with, and we definitely want to test it out on our own website so we can get rid of phone numbers and emails that we have to use right now for OTP. And as soon as possible, we'll just make those go away forever. And you'll just be able to log in purely with a passwordless zero trust system and make all that other stuff go away. And then we'll open it up to the rest of the world and let them do it too.
Awesome. That's amazing. I'm so tired of the one-time password.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for hanging in there. I know we're over by 11 minutes. Hopefully that hasn't conflicted with too many schedules.
I think Barbara's in the next meeting.
Yeah, Barbara's already busy with meetings.
Yeah. So she had to the host. So, no, thank everyone for attending. I hope it was interesting. As always, we have a blast doing this stuff. So, terrific stuff.
All right. Everyone have a great Friday and a very restful weekend. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tyler.